G'day, I'm Bob from Paradise, and today we're going to talk about bamboo. Whether you use bamboo as a drum, which we don't need any longer, or food, or as a construction timber, or as a beautiful ornamental that'll give your place a really tropical use, bamboos are really versatile and fantastic plant. There's tremendous variation in them. They're actually a family of the grass family, and we'll show you a few in a few minutes anyway, just to show you the type of variation. But a dwarf bamboo, don't be fooled, will be somewhere like 6 to 8 metres tall. Like this one next to us is actually a dwarf. We have a look at that. That's a textilis. Next to us we have a dendrocalamus. Big. That's this one here that we cut back. Bamboos have culms, which we call the culm, and they're segmented. And if you cut one through like we have this one, you'll see that they have horizontal pieces across, and that strengthens them as well. If you cut a bamboo there, you can get a nice drink out of it, which we used to in the jungles in New Guinea, and we'll working there. They come from they are in Australasia, tropical areas, and right up into the northern country. So there's a tremendous range of tolerance of cold, from -30 to the tropical ones, which don't like getting below zero much. So they have really attractive foliage. Again, it's variable. If we just come over to this one over here, and we'll just have a look at this foliage on this one, and we'll show you some more later on. Now this one, I don't know, it must be, I haven't actually measured it, but it's about 18 metres tall, I suppose. This one here, it's a clumping bamboo. Now, most bamboos today that are sold are clumping bamboos, and they'll readily tell you if it's a running bamboo, and the only running bamboos, which have got a horrific record, that are sold these days, if it's got some specific use, like you can eat the shoots or something like that. So these are clumping bamboos, and this one here would be 12 years old. We used to have it up at our house site, and when we had to move it to build the house, so we had a 20-ton excavator here, and we just picked it up and marched it down here when it was about 4 years old. And when it was 4 years old, it was about a third of that size, I suppose. It was one big plant then after 4 years, and it was probably about 2/3 of that height. So that's how quickly they grow if they've got the right conditions. And they are pretty hardy in most conditions. They'll take cold temperatures. You just have to look at the conditions for that particular bamboo, and they're very very versatile. So this one here, probably too big for a lot of people, but if you have a clump of bamboos, like see how we've got these ones separated, if you had them over an area, they drop a lot of mulch on the ground, that's like this, and you can walk around that. It's just like being in a tropical location like Bali or whatever. You can have paths in between them. It's really a magnificent setting. You can use them for screening. The smaller ones are really good. You see what a good screen that multiplexes make, or the Alphonse bar over here. They are both dwarfs, but you can see they're 6 or 8 metres tall. So they make a really powerful screen. Now, with the clumping bamboos, which all these are, the clump will gradually get bigger and bigger. Don't be fooled about that, but it's easy to constrain it. And the other thing is, if you don't have any physical barrier around it, as the new shoots come up, you just pick the new shoots off, and so they're not going to take over the place. But the clump will gradually get bigger. We've got a couple of bamboos over here. I'll just show you. This is a nastus. This is one that we've just got to plant here, but this is one of the very few you can actually eat the shoots raw. So bamboo shoots are very popular, but generally got to be cooked. But this is one that you can eat raw. In our old hemii is one that we have in our catalogue at the moment, and it's one that's used widely for construction because the walls of it, when I say the walls, I mean this wall in here is very thick in old hemii. This one's a bit thinner. You can still use these, but not as strong as old hemii, which is one we've got at the moment. And old hemii probably should be one of the first bamboos you should get. It's grows to about 8-10 metres, and it has edible shoots. So you've got edible shoots. You can just kick the shoot off and cook it. They're delicious, and you can also use it as construction timber around your place, and it's used widely in Asia. You can see it up in the scaffolding and all over the place for those sort of uses. If you want to preserve a bamboo to make it last longer, what you do is stand it in. You can stand it like that, but in a dry location on a hard dry surface, and that'll gradually what's the word season. It'll gradually season for you. But even better if you stand it in a bucket of seawater or water that you've put salt in. Well, it'll suck the salt up, and all the sugars attract the salt up, and that'll help season it even a lot better. So that's quite easy to do. But if we have a look at a few of these, explaining how we send bamboos. Sorry about that again. Now that's the Java, no, that one, that's the Barboletta. This is a rare one that we've got in our rare plants catalogue. That's Barboletta, and this one here is the one that we're sending out in our catalogue at the moment, the Java Black. So what we do to send that, and sometimes they're way up here, we cut them back if we have to. We wouldn't have to cut this one back, but because that's really flexible, you can turn it like that. We take it out of the pot and drop a lot of the mix off, so it's not too expensive for us to send it to you. But that's fine. They're very, very tough, and when you get it at the upper end, even if it's been travelling for a couple of weeks. Most plants aren't travelling that long, they're travelling a couple of days, but even if it was travelling a couple of weeks, it would be fine just to drop it in the ground in a way it'll just reshoot. We could cut all that off and it'll just reshoot. You can see sort of, this is the original plant that went in there. While we're talking about that, that's how you can propagate them. You just cut a culm off. So you can see this one was about 12 inches, a foot long, and just plonk it in. So it's been two plonked into this pot, and if you're lucky, sometimes you've got to be very lucky with them, you'll get it to strike. But it is as simple as that, but the stroke rates will vary from 0 to 30%, something like that. So that's the Java Black. We'll show you some photos of Timor Black. This one's probably prettier, it gets a bit of a green stripe in it. See one there already. And over here, that's the Malay Dwarf. We'll show you some close-ups of that one up here in a second. That's another dwarf one. And as I said before, the Barboletta, that's in our rare plants catalogue. That's a dwarf ghost bamboo. Gets a real silvery trunk on it. This is a smaller version for a smaller yard. Still grows to about 6 or 8 metres, but looks absolutely fantastic above the water feature, whatever, in a smaller yard. So now we'll just show you a few others and we'll see how we go from there. So this is Malay Dwarf. We'll give you a little bit of a longer shot, but we hack at this one because it's in our thoroughfare, but you can see the beautiful foliage on it and gets a really nice shape, and you can shape it up if you like. It doesn't grow that tall, probably. This one's probably about 4 metres, and really lovely plant. Now this is the golden painted. I really like this one. It's got the stripes, the green stripes through it, and it's a really goldy colour. They grow to about 15 metres. They're a fantastic plant, I reckon. Really nice dense foliage. This one is Alphonse Carr. You can see this is it is a dwarf, and it's a much narrower culm on it. It's probably about 8 metres tall. And again, we've got this nice stripe arrangement. So Alphonse Carr, they call this one. We often cut this and use it for little stakes around the place that we need. We find it really handy. We've been cutting it back for years and getting stakes out of it, good tomato stakes and all sorts of little temporary igloos that that stuff will last 2 or 3 years, and without any treatment. So that's Alphonse Carr. Now this is the Timor Black, really attractive bamboo. It's a bit hard to get any long shots here because there's so much foliage around us, but really attractive around a pool. They do tend to be deciduous even here. In the winter they drop a lot of foliage and get fairly bare, but other than that they are a beautiful bamboo to have around your area. We have the Java Black at the moment, which is prettier again. It's got some green stripe in it as well. Now this is another Dendrocalamus. It's got a big foliage on it, so there's plenty of variation. This is quite a big bamboo. There's quite a few other plants mixed in this area here. Another really glamorous one with the big weeping type foliage. With flowering of bamboos, if you're really patient and you want to look at a cycle of a fast flowering bamboo about every 30 years, or you might have to wait 150 years for some, you will get some flowers and you will get some seed, and it's likely to be fertile. So flowers aren't all that great. It's a long time to wait, isn't it? But if you do, the seeds will be fertile. So that's something about the flowers. Okay, so thank you for looking at our bamboo coverage, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Remember, you can do it. Bamboos are great, and if you can fit them in your property, put them in. It'll give them that really exotic barley look. If someone asks about flowering, bamboos are on a flowering cycle. They do flower, but the cycle's between 30 and 150 years, so you've got to have a lot of patience to wait to get your flowers. When they do flower, flowers aren't all that fantastic to look at, but when you do get flowers, you get seed, and the seeds are usually quite fertile. So if you've got a lot of patience, you'll do all right out of it. Now, so if you want to give your property that barley look, go for bamboos. You need a bit of space, but even if you just have one of the smaller ones in a strategic situation, they can look really, really good. So, think about it. Think about the barley look. Think about something that's useful for a lot of different purposes, and it's an absolutely beautiful plant with great variation. So, remember, you can do it. And until next time, we'll